Hello viewers, you are welcome to this tutorial. This course is made for those who want to enter into the field of programming. Okay, so if you have an idea of programming or you do not have an idea of programming, just work through this course. It gives you an enhanced view of how programming actually works. Okay, and I've made tutorials about Python, how to program in Python. So I have a tutorial which tells you the reason why we're using Python. Okay, so this is kind of an intro to those who just have no knowledge about programming. You just want to begin the field of programming. All right, so what is a software? Almost all of you knows what the software actually is. So let me just explain this few software we have. Now we have a smartphone app. So every kind of application you have on your phone, you're having, okay, be it WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, WPS, okay, any app you have on your mobile phones is basically a smartphone app. Okay, and we have a website as well. So on your smartphones or on your laptops or computers, you could see a web browser like Firefox, like Microsoft Edge, like Chrome. So all these stuffs are web browsers, and inside the web browsers you can access websites like www.amazon.com or anything. So any website you access via a web browser, or any page or any software you're able to access using a web browser, is known as a website. Okay, so you have an idea of what a smartphone is, smartphone app. You have an idea of what a website app actually is as well. Okay, so what is a desktop application or a desktop app? So if you have your laptop or your personal computers, the softwares you have on it are known as desktop applications. So you can have Firefox, you can have Microsoft Word, you can have Excel, you can have Photoshop, you can have almost every application you can imagine you have on your desktop computer. Alright, so these are the basic things you have to know if you want to enter into the field of programming. So I know all of you have an idea, even if not for any of them, you have an idea of what a smartphone app is, because you use WhatsApp, you use any other application on your phone, and you also have an idea of what a website is because you open your web browser, go like whatever you want to type.com. Okay, and the same thing applies to the desktop application. So in the desktop, your laptop you're having, or your personal computers, you just go through them and just install Microsoft Word. The typing you do, the Excel worksheets you go through, the Microsoft Publisher you use, all of them are based on desktop applications. Okay, so now the point is, each one of this software is developed by set of instructions. Okay, anytime you open WhatsApp, or let me use this app as an example. So if I have Firefox right here, okay, so in Firefox, if I type, or maybe if I click on images, all right, behind the scene there are a set of instructions which says if you click on images, reveal these images to the person. Okay, so these things are known as set of instruction. So every point in life has set of instruction. When you're cooking, there are set of instruction. You don't put the food under the stove, you put the food on the stove. Okay, so they are basically set of instructions that does the job. Okay, so they are known as programming languages. So in programming, this set of instructions that makes WhatsApp, Instagram, website, Microsoft Word, the set of instructions that makes them work are known as programming languages. Okay, now there are several programming languages that does the job. So if you want to develop a software, if you want to develop an app on your phone, or you want to develop a website, or you want to develop a desktop application to use for your organization, what you need to learn is programming languages. So the programming languages is like a tool which you use to develop your application. Okay, so there are several of them. We have HTML, we have CSS, okay, we have JavaScript. Okay, I'm kind of typing them in the small letter. Okay, we have JavaScript, all right, and we have Python. Okay, we have, let me kind of make them short. We have Python, we have Java, we have C++, there is C. There are several programming languages you can imagine. All right, there is Perl. So in this tutorial, the tutorials I've released, I've made mention of Python as a programming language and why you should use Python programming language. Okay, so these ones are normally used for designing websites. Okay, Python is also used for both websites, desktop apps, and smartphone apps, and Java also runs through most of them. Okay, so what really happens now is it's not just about using one programming language, because software development is normally integration. So all these applications do not work on their own. Okay, they normally integrate themselves. What C++ can do and what Python can do, they normally integrate all of them. But in this course, I'm teaching you how to use Python, which I've released in the next tutorials. Okay, so just check up on them and learn what you're about to learn. So this is just to give you an introduction of all we're about to do. So what we're doing in the whole course about Python is we are learning the Python, we're learning the programming language, which will help us to write set of instructions, so we'll be able to develop apps like smartphone, website, and desktop app. So I began by teaching the basics of Python, dealing with the print statements, dealing with some basic input and output. So the tutorials we're watching are just the basic of Python. After understanding those basics, we'll jump into developing a desktop application, so you can develop an app. An example of an app is Microsoft Word. Okay, so just think big. At the end of this course, you'll be able to design the interface of how Microsoft Word looks like, okay, and every other thing. So that is how it's going to be. So just follow the tutorials. It's a step-by-step guide on what you have to know. If you are confused, leave a question for me in the chat box and I'll really answer you on that. So thank you for viewing. Subscribe to the channel, share the videos with new friends you have, and make sure that they all stick to it. And also ring that bell so you get every update I receive, and like the videos if they're informative for you. Thank you for viewing.